The Indian Ocean is no longer a quiet, forgotten sea. Once overshadowed by the Atlantic and Pacific, it's now the new center of global activity. This vast body of water, touching Africa, Asia, and Australia, is shaping the destinies of great nations. The world's economic energy is shifting eastward, and the Indian Ocean is at its heart. Today, it's a superhighway for global commerce. Oil, goods, and raw materials cross its waters daily. If these sea lanes are blocked, the world feels the shock. The rise of Asian powers like India and China has made this ocean even more critical. The Indian Ocean is now a stage for strategic competition, where rising and established powers meet. The US has long been a major naval force here, but new players like China are changing the game. China, once focused inward, is now a major actor in these waters, creating a new dynamic. The region is becoming a theater for a geopolitical story that will define international relations for decades. The old order is changing, and a new one is taking shape. The future of global peace and stability may be decided in the warm waters of the Indian Ocean. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. The Indian Ocean's importance boils down to energy and trade. Much of the world's oil travels from the Middle East across these waters to Asia and Europe. Choke points like the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb are vital gateways. Any disruption here sends shockwaves through the global economy. Security of these sea lanes is a top priority for every major economy. Beyond oil, the Indian Ocean is a critical route for container shipping. Phones, clothes, cars, all cross these waters. The Malacca Strait is one of the world's busiest shipping channels linking the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Stability here is directly tied to global economic health. The ocean is also rich in resources: oil, gas, fish, and valuable minerals. As technology improves, competition for these resources intensifies, making control over exclusive economic zones crucial. The Indian Ocean is also a stage for global influence. Naval presence here signals true power. That's why the US, France, the UK, and now China all maintain a presence. What happens in the Indian Ocean affects the entire global balance of power. Its stability is everyone's business. For India, the Indian Ocean is not just strategic, it's home. India's long coastline and central position give it a commanding view of vital sea lanes. 95% of India's trade by volume and 70% by value moves by sea, making the ocean its lifeline. Most of India's energy imports cross these waters. Any threat here is a threat to India's economy. Island territories like the Andaman and Nicobar extend India's reach, sitting near choke points like the Malacca Strait. Protecting these islands and waters is central to India's defense strategy. The Indian Ocean is also part of India's identity and vision as a regional leader. India aims to be the first responder in crises, natural disasters, or security threats. This role as a net security provider is key to India's foreign policy. To succeed, India needs a strong navy and deep maritime awareness. The Indian Ocean is where India's aspirations as a regional leader are tested. Its security and prosperity are inseparable from the ocean's fate. For India, the Indian Ocean is both a challenge and an opportunity. China's interest in the Indian Ocean is new but growing fast. Once a land-focused power, China's economic rise has made these distant waters vital. China is now the world's largest oil importer. 80% of its oil passes through the Indian Ocean and the Malacca Strait. This Malacca dilemma worries Chinese strategists. Rivals could choke off China's energy lifeline. To protect its interests, China is building a presence in the Indian Ocean. The Belt and Road Initiative's Maritime Silk Road runs through these waters, linking ports and infrastructure across the region. It's about trade, but also about building influence and friendly networks. A strong naval presence is needed to protect investments and assert China's role. The People's Liberation Army Navy is transforming into a blue water force, operating globally. China's first overseas military base in Djibouti marks a new era. China is here to stay. Its growing presence challenges the old balance of power. China's ambitions in the Indian Ocean are reshaping the region. The competition for influence is just beginning. The Indian Ocean is now central to China's global strategy. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. China isn't just talking. It's acting to expand its Indian Ocean influence. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, China has built ports in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. These commercial ports have dual-use potential, worrying India and others. China's navy has maintained anti-piracy patrols in the region since 2008, but its presence is growing. Chinese submarines and warships are making more frequent appearances. Military exercises with partners like Russia and Iran are on the rise. China's research vessels, often near India's strategic locations, are suspected of gathering military intelligence. Mapping the seabed and tracking naval movements are key for submarine operations. Frequent docking in Sri Lanka and the Maldives, despite India's objections, raises tensions. China is also building regional institutions, like the China-Indian Ocean Forum, excluding India. This diplomatic push, combined with economic and military moves, forms a comprehensive strategy. China is using money, diplomacy, and military might to build dominance. The Indian Ocean is now a contested space between China and India. In June 2025, India's parliament sounded the alarm on China's growing Indian Ocean presence. The Standing Committee on External Affairs called it a major strategic challenge. China's actions are part of a long-term plan, not random moves. Dual-use infrastructure, ports and facilities in neighboring countries could support Chinese military operations. This would let Chinese warships operate in India's backyard, shifting the security balance. The report noted a sharp rise in Chinese naval activity, including spy ships and expanded exercises. China is gathering intelligence and mapping the underwater environment for submarine warfare. This challenges the Indian Navy's traditional dominance. The committee urged decisive action, strengthen India's capabilities, deepen partnerships, and shape regional security. India cannot afford complacency. The challenge is real and growing. A strong, sustained response is needed. The report was a wake-up call for the nation. The Indian Ocean's future depends on how India responds. India has responded with a clear vision, MAHASAGAR, mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth for all in the region. Championed by Prime Minister Modi, this doctrine is about inclusion and cooperation, not domination. India seeks to work with partners to create a safe, secure, and prosperous maritime space. The challenges, piracy, terrorism, illegal fishing, disasters, are too big for any one country. Collective action is the only solution, and India aims to lead it. India wants to be the region's first responder, sharing information and coordinating responses. Soft power is key. India's Navy and Coast Guard provide humanitarian aid and disaster relief, building trust. This approach counters the influence of powers seen as self-interested. MAHASAGAR is also about building India's own capabilities. A strong modern navy is essential for India's security and leadership. The government is investing in indigenous ships, submarines, and aircraft. Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance in defense, is central to the strategy. A powerful navy enables India to realize its Mahasagar vision and ensure a free, open Indo-Pacific. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia. India knows it can't secure the Indian Ocean alone. Building strong partnerships is central to its strategy. India leads regional organizations like the Indian Ocean Rim Association and the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. It strengthens security ties with neighbors through the Colombo Security Conclave, providing training and equipment. Diplomatic engagement yields results. Sri Lanka's assurance not to harm India's security is one example. India is also deepening ties with global powers, including the Quad, India, the US, Japan, and Australia, which conducts joint exercises and promotes a free, open Indo-Pacific. France, with territories and a naval presence in the region, is another key partner. India and France share intelligence and conduct joint patrols. By weaving a web of partnerships, India builds a strong support network. This strategy of building bridges, not walls, is India's best tool for managing Indian Ocean challenges. Cooperation is the key to keeping the region peaceful and prosperous. The Indian Ocean stands at a crossroads. Its future will shape the world. Shared challenges like piracy and climate change demand joint action. India's Mahasagar Vision offers a model for collective security and prosperity. But rivalry, especially between India and China, could lead to arms races and division. Escalation would disrupt trade and force smaller nations to choose sides. The choices made now will determine the region's fate. India must build its navy, deepen partnerships, and engage diplomatically, even with China. Open communication is vital to prevent miscalculation. Other powers, US, Japan, Europe, will also shape the balance. A rules-based order, respect for international law, and strong institutions are essential. The stakes are high. Global peace and prosperity depend on a stable Indian Ocean. The world is watching. The choices today will write tomorrow's history. Subscribe, like, and share Cosmo Academia.